to this week's edition of A Word for Your Weekend. A little late on a Friday night, but hopefully you guys get a chance to watch it this weekend. Man, what a week we've had. It was, I think at first, if I'll be honest, I was like, oh, this is so pretty, this is so cool, ice, snow. Obviously, with the continuing freezing temperatures, things were not what we expected. I know that there's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff now. And so, first and foremost, if you need anything, man, please reach out to me. I know the snow is now melting, but houses are in disarray. We have a lot of things going on with pipes. So, and here in Arlington, we're still having issues with water. So I wanted to first and foremost put this out. If you need help, please shoot me a text, shoot me an email. You can email us, find the email on our Facebook page. Send a message via one of our social media links, and I'll be glad to do what I can to help you. That being said, I want to jump into our Word for Your Weekend, little Devo. And obviously, with everything going on, my mind went to what else but snow. And that got me thinking about one of my favorite chapters in the Bible, Psalms 51. The first few times I read the Psalms, it seemed very somber. But I think that over time I've come to realize what the author, King David, where his heart was. And this psalm really speaks to me. And so I want to jump into it today and kind of give you guys an idea of what I think it can do for us in a day-to-day review of it. So I'm going to be reading just the middle section of it, not the whole thing, because these two kind of stanzas, I love them, and I hope you guys do too. So Psalms 51, I'm going to be starting in verse 7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones that you have broken rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of salvation, and uphold me with a willing spirit. Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners will return to you. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God of my salvation, and my tongue will sing aloud your righteousness. O Lord, open my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. For you will not delight in sacrifice, or I would give it. You will not be pleased with a burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, you will not despise. Little backstory. King David wrote this after the sin he is famous for, which was his sin with Bathsheba and her husband, and the situation there. And David was made aware of the tragic consequences to his sin, but also just the consequences earthly wise, but also the consequences that resulted in his relationship with God. And I feel like we see in this desperate longing for David to get back into right standing with God, to kind of, rectify everything. Now, what is this? Why does Tanner have this in his brain when it comes to this and snow? And obviously, right in the middle, it says, wash me and I will be whiter than snow. But this is what came to my mind, friends. I was driving back to Dallas for work today. I'm back at the office, and I see the snow that is melting, the snow and the ice. And it doesn't look like what it looked like on Monday and Tuesday. Early in the week, you go outside and you see this like perfect, beautiful snow, just white. Everything, I told one of my friends, we were driving up to the house to check on the house, and you could just see it. There was like this perfectly uniform covering of snow. There was no no rivulets, no waves. It was just this perfect blanket, and there's a purity, a crispness, a cleanness to that. And then today I'm driving, and what do I see? I see dirty snow. I see the trash that's being exposed from the melt. And it got me thinking. I've said it before, and it's kind of one of my things that I always want to remember, but we don't live our lives as believers striving for cleanliness. We don't strive to do things to be good enough for God. Into this in chapter 16, it talks about you will not delight in sacrifice. You are not pleased with a burnt offering. David is referencing the fact that what the things Israel does, these offerings, that's not truly what's pleasing to God if it's done with the wrong heart. It's done as a part of religion, as a part of what's supposed to be done. And I think that's the truth for us. We don't do things to gain God's acceptance. We don't do things to gain his forgiveness. First and foremost, my friends, we're reading Old Testament. It's different than now. The things that were set in place for David and the ancient Israelites was the sacrifices for the cleansing rituals. That's there. But for us, we have Christ as the one and only sacrifice needed. So if you are a Christian, you are already forgiven. You have had your sins forgiven. That's been done. But I do think we can take this information and remind ourselves that we still need to come to God and ask him to create in us, verse 10, create in us a clean heart. Renew a right spirit within me. Because much like the snow, my friends, we can be in a good place. We can, leave church and just feel God's presence and have learned and grown and spent time. And then by Monday morning, the trash in our life has started to show itself. The snow has been dirtied. This is not discouragement, but rather knowing that we can go to the Lord and he will wash us and we'll be whiter than snow over and over. He can create in us this clean heart over and over. He can right our minds. He can, when we veer off track, he can get us right back. Man, that is such a great comfort. And so I've said it. We don't work or live towards Sundays. We don't live towards our relationship with Christ, but we have to live from it. That's why I've said it. Monday morning devotions, time with God before the day starts, will change your day. If you will start cleansed, right mind, a willing spirit, the very last of this, the sacrifices of God, a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. If you will give the Lord your heart at the beginning of the day, say, I am yours. Whatever I do today is to honor you, to serve you, to further your kingdom. You're going to be starting from a place of purity and cleanness, and you'll be rejuvenated. And for me, this is so important because right in the middle it says, when we are able to do this, when we are back as a willing spirit in line with God, he then gives us that purity of spirit then provides us with the opportunity to show others the incredible forgiveness of God. Now, how can you be so calm? How can you be so grateful? How can you be the fruit of the Spirit? How are these things showing up in your life? I'll tell you how. This is not Tanner talking. This is the idea. But we showcase these fruit of the Spirit because we're living from a place of purity with our relationship with Christ. We wake up, we're cleansed, we go out. The guy cuts us off on the road. Hey, no, it's no big deal. I'm not gonna react. Or someone at work talks bad about us, and okay, I'm just gonna pray for them. These things show up in our lives, and then people are like, "What's up with you?" Well, hey man, I mess up all the time, but there's someone who forgives me. We are then able to teach other people about God's incredible forgiveness, his ability to cleanse us and make us whiter than snow. One thing that I really thought was cool, and I love always connecting Old Testament to New Testament, was at the very beginning it says, "Purge me with hyssop." Hyssop was the wood branch, the kind of the plant that they used first and foremost to cover the doors in Egypt with blood. And the story there is, the 10th plague, it was the angel of death came and killed, and they covered the doorways with the blood of an unblemished lamb, and that was representative of Christ being our blood covering. And I love the idea of that wood just being dipped and spread, and then later on, that was the wood, that was the instrument used to sprinkle the blood from the sacrifices in the tabernacle and a part of that culture. And it just reminds me that we have Christ's blood. If you're a believer, you have Christ's blood covering you. But we want to go back and we want to remember that God, purge me with hyssop. Cover me with that blood again. Not that we have to be re-forgiven, but the idea of humbling ourselves. Lord, I messed up again. I'm fighting this battle. Create in me a clean heart. Purge me with the hyssop. We're never, my friends, gonna stop sinning while we are in human bodies. It is something we fight our whole lives. But what we can have is a contrite and broken spirit, something that can go to God and ask him to make us better tomorrow than we were today. To start as fresh, as freshly, as white, as pure as freshly fallen snow. And then when we start to notice that dirtiness churning up, we go straight back to the source, to God, the only one that can cleanse us. I hope that is something that you think about. I hope it's encouraging. It encourages me. And when you get a chance, read Psalms 51. We'll be back Monday with another Monday Musing. I'm praying for everyone. And once again, if you need help, please reach out. Be safe.